So we're gonna go ahead and check this out.
This is how you transform the White House from one president to another.
Make America powerful again.
Moving out, cleaning, repainting, and so much more is a Herculean task. However, the roughly 100 members of the White House staff assigned to these duties have less than 6 hours to make it all happen. Worse yet, any simple mistake.
6 hours. Could you imagine having to move out, repaint, and all that kind of stuff all in 6 hours? Imagine having to do that like at your own place. That's insane. That's insane.
It could turn the president's first day in office into a disaster in a number of ways. Packing up the White House is much more complicated than renting a U-Haul and a trailer, putting all your junk in it, and slapping the ratchet straps with a "that's not going anywhere." For you see, the White House is a massive historic mansion with 6 floors and 20,000 square feet of living.
Damn. Okay, so I didn't know that there was 6 floors inside there. I thought there was only 2. You know, with the like the 2 windows you see. Well, okay, so I guess 3. Okay, so well, yeah, I guess it would be 3 or 4. Jesus. Okay, so I didn't realize that.
Space within an area known as the executive residence. Starting from the bottom, there are 2 stories to the basement. The lowest one houses machinery and support systems for the White House, while the first floor of the basement hosts the kitchen, tons of storage, and other ancillary service equipment. While the executive residence is actually 6 floors, including 2 basements, an attic, and a public ground floor, the first and second floors are where the actual living quarters are. The first family normally occupies the first floor, while the second floor houses mainly guest suites and other living spaces. All told, the 20,000 square feet of the executive residence has dozens of rooms, including approximately 20 bedrooms and 35 bathrooms, among other office and personal spaces that must be
20 beds, 25 bathrooms. That's pretty crazy. I mean, it's not like too crazy thinking about it's the White House, but like, could you imagine like you have like a oh my gosh, I just thought about this. Imagine like somebody like Kai Cenat or like Speed or something like that doing an event inside the Oval Office. Like doing a live stream inside the Oval Office. That would be insane. That'd be kind of a cool idea, actually.
Be packed up.
Guy, if you ever take that idea, want some residuals.
Cleaned out and moved in with new stuff in less than 6 hours. This makes picking up that pile of dirty laundry from your floor that's been sitting there all week seem like a cakewalk. Just how the White House manages to pull this off is nothing short of extraordinary. How in the world is the White House supposed to plan for such a massive undertaking? Believe it or not, the planning actually starts right after Election Day. Traditionally, once the race is called and it's clear,
well, hell yeah, man, hell yeah.
The White House will begin.
How was your weekend?
With the incoming administration. The person in charge of this process is the White House Chief Usher. The White House Chief Usher oversees roughly 100 butlers, maids, chefs, housekeepers, engineers, and other staff serving the first family at the executive residence. After the election, the Chief Usher will send questionnaires to the incoming president's transition team, which will want to know everything from what kind of foods the president likes to what kind of toothpaste he uses. Additionally, the Chief Usher will work hand in hand with the incoming First Lady to begin decorating her new home. Because the White House is like...
Okay, that's kind of cool that they take in they take in what's the, I don't know what the word is for it. Take into account basically what you like as a president, what you like as for food wise, what your toothpaste needs are, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of cool that they basically send out a questionnaire and they get all that stuff and then they plan all those meals and they basically the recipes and they switch it over all within 6 hours. That's crazy.
Like a living museum, it has accumulated several hundred years worth of artifacts, furniture, artwork, and other presidential memorabilia. Though some of these priceless artifacts are on site at the White House, most of the collection is housed in a large storage facility in Maryland. It is customary for the First Lady to pick whatever pieces she desires from the collection to help decorate and furnish the White House. Due to the historic...
Here's a question though. here's a question. Why is it the first lady that gets to decide? Right? Like I understand, you know, most of the time, it's kind of, I guess more of like a common thing that, you know, most women decorate the house and stuff like this. They're the ones that have more of the keen eye for it. But if I'm going to be president and you're going to have historical things, I kind of want to choose what goes inside, you know, the house I'm going to be living in for the next 4 years. You know, like that's what I love to go through the storage and see all the desks and stuff. Dude, 100%. I would love to see it. Would almost feel like an Indiana Jones archive. You know, you're kind of going through, like, imagine the history you're going through, right?
Significance of some of these artifacts. Some will remain on permanent display at the White House. The Lincoln bedroom is one such part of the executive residence that looks just as it did when President Lincoln passed away from an assassin's bullet in 1865, including the bed where he actually spent his final moments. However, many of the furnishings include specially commissioned art, furniture, and gifts given to previous administrations. If the president wanted to, he could sit in George Washington's chair, or the First Lady could hang a lamp that was gifted by the brother of Napoleon Bonaparte.
That's cool.
First families can also choose to decorate the White House for political reasons. A recent example is one of the choices President Biden made when he picked a bust of civil rights leader Cesar Chavez to adorn the Oval Office. He specifically chose this bust since Chavez was a key figure of the Hispanic population. Biden said he wanted to be reminded of his leadership and example each day when he went to work. In addition to helping to pick out some of these historic furnishings, the new president and first lady also make it known their desires for any interior remodeling. Whether new rugs, carpets, paint, or whatever the case may be, the chief usher ensures the first family's requests are documented and coordinated well before Inauguration Day. However, some of these requests are certainly a tall order to fill. For example, after President Truman took office, he directed the staff to construct a balcony on the south portico of the White House that has since become a symbolic fixture of the building. Before President Nixon took office, he insisted that the White House construct a one-lane bowling alley in the basement. However, Nixon was not the only one who wanted to bring his personal touches. Because of President Teddy Roosevelt's love of the outdoors and hunting, he insisted that he be allowed to display his collection of taxidermied animals. While many raised their eyebrows, they couldn't tell the president no, and during his administration, the White House was transformed into a sort of museum of curiosities. Of course, these are just a few examples of some of the major changes that a president and first lady have made, but there are limitations on what can be approved. When Hillary Clinton wanted to decorate the White House with more contemporary modern art, she faced a massive backlash from the White House Historical Association, and she backed down. When President Reagan requested an outdoor pool be built on the South Lawn, the Secret Service turned him down because of the security implications.
Okay, I mean, okay. So if you're look, all right, if you're the president of the United States, I completely understand, and I would love to have an outdoor pool. But look, you got to be realistic and to the point of, like, there ain't no way you're going to get an outdoor pool approved at the White House. I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen. There's no way it's going to happen. It's a logistic nightmare for security. Like, now an indoor pool, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
But for those lavish, crazy, or extraordinary requests that are approved, there is a catch. No changes can be made until the sitting president actually leaves the White House that morning for Inauguration Day, around 10 to 11 a.m. This means that despite the several months of preparation and planning, the team only has about 5 to 6 hours to pull everything off.
Wow. So I wonder how they did the balcony. Because if they cannot do anything, and they had talked about the balcony, right? They talked about the balcony, how what was it, Nixon? or Truman wanted the balcony. So I wonder if that was the same way or if that was different because that was going to take major construction, or if they couldn't start construction until the sitting president left. I'm actually pretty curious about that. Indoor pool with a retractable roof. How would you do that though? Would you build a whole building with for the indoor pool, or would you put the pool on the top and then basically have a retractable roof up top? Good questions.
Once the exiting first family leaves for the swearing in of the new president. On Inauguration Day, the White House staff rise as early as 4 in the morning to get a head start on any of the massive remodeling projects mentioned previously that are going to take more than just a few hours to complete. The White House usher will also ensure people are assigned to other projects that may take longer to accomplish, like repainting rooms or changing out flooring. However, most of the staff will rise at their normal time so they can prepare for a White House tradition on a president's last day in office. As part of this tradition, all of the White House staff gather with the president and first lady to formally say goodbye. As the president and first lady make their rounds, they often exchange words of encouragement or short stories of their fond memories with the staff as they have become a part of their larger family. At the end of the ceremony, the chief usher will present a gift to the president handcrafted in the White House's woodwork shop. The gift consists of 2 American flags in handmade cases. These flags were flown on his first full day and last.
Hold on. Are they handmade by the president? Hold on. Go back.
Of encouragement or short stories of their fond memories with the staff as they have become a part of their larger family. At the end of the ceremony, the chief usher will present a gift to the president handcrafted in the White House's woodwork shop. The gift consists of 2 American flags in handmade cases. These flags were flown on his first full day and last full day in office.
That's cool. That's cool that they have handmade cases and it's the flags that were flown the first and the last day. To me, I think that's very sentimental, and that's really cool to kind of know that these are the flags that were flown on the first day of your job and the last day of your job. It's kind of cool.
Conclusion of this ceremony, the first family then leaves for the inauguration. And as they do, an army of staff begins packing up everything inside. Because of security concerns, outside movers aren't allowed inside the White House. This is a real problem, considering that
Could you imagine having the job of chief usher? Seems stressful. Honestly, to have that job would be, you would have to have such a system going on, and like you would have to like really get into like that system. Honestly, I think that like if you're a chief usher, you'd have to be like an event planner almost. You'd have to have that kind of mindset for it, because you're dealing with I mean, they actually had said how many, there you go, you're dealing with such a team.
White House chief usher oversees roughly 100 butlers, maids, chefs, housekeepers, engineers, and other staff serving the first family at the executive residence.
So I mean, you're handling quite the big team. Hi, bud. You're handling quite a team for it. So like to imagine, of course, it's like running a running a store or running a kitchen like this. You have your top people, so like you would have your head of housekeeping, you'd have your head of engineers, your head chef, and then of course like it would be delegated. But the amount of pressure that you have to get everything right is absolutely insane.
After the election,
Let's jump back to where we were.
Problem, considering that massive pieces
That's
of
wild,
furniture
yeah.
weighing hundreds of pounds, large mattresses, and ornate decorations, along with all the family's personal belongings, need to be packed up and moved. Any wrong move during this part could damage priceless artifacts that are literally irreplaceable. Security concerns so these items don't go missing. The entire staff comprises the army of movers needed to pack up, haul down, and load the trucks on the south lawn of the White House. These trucks, with one being empty and
So I love how they basically talk about how meticulous and how careful they have to be, but yet the animations shows
all down and
the boxes literally dropping onto the ground and then bouncing. To me, that like that's a funny thing that they would just show.
One being empty and one being full of the new first family's belongings are among the few outside vendors allowed during this process. Although there are some very interesting knickknacks and artifacts families can use to decorate the home, these must all be turned back over to special antique movers since they are property of the U.S. government. However, the staff cannot willy-nilly throw these things into boxes. So while other people are moving giant mattresses and furniture, there are staff members huddled in the corner feverishly packaging an 18th century lamp to make sure it doesn't break. Additionally, any gifts a president receives also have to be turned over to the National Archives. So if Trump's son gets gifted a PS5 while in office, that gaming system will become a historical artifact unless President Trump elects to pay the government the item's fair market value.
Hold on. Hold on. This can't be serious. So, wait, hold on. You're telling me that if I gift Trump or whoever the president is, doesn't have to be Trump, but if I gift the president, say, a deck of cards, okay? Say like this Mardi Gras deck of cards, okay? If he decides to not pay the $10 market fee that is this deck of cards, this will sit in a national archive on either on display or not as a historical item. What? Okay, that's kind of cool, but it's also stupid. Like, I understand like big things and like of like historical like things, but like a PS5 or yeah, like a gaming PC. Come on.
But getting back to the stuff in the executive residence, as the staff is boxing up personal items and moving furniture, a dedicated cleaning crew comes in to make the place spotless. And if there's any damage, like Donald Trump spilling one of his daily 12 Diet Cokes on the carpet, the team will simply rip out the carpet and put in a fresh one. Because of all the
Hold on. If he spills if he spills on the carpet, they're ripping it out and putting a whole new carpet in. They're not just gonna clean it. Could you imagine like having toddlers and every time they spill something, all right, the chief usher's like, all right, wrap it up. Let's get it. Let's clean it.
different teams coming and going, from people packing old things, unpacking new things, cleaning and redecorating. The actions of the staff are quite literally planned out to the minute. And as the clock continues to run out, the staff are on a strict timetable to ensure the rest of the Inauguration Day's activities go off without a hitch. The last thing they want is for the first family to be awkwardly waiting on the front porch to be let in as the staff are still putting everything together. But as all of this is happening, another aspect of the White House makeover that goes down at the inauguration could, if done incorrectly, end America as we know it. Whenever you see the president traveling out,
they come rushing in screaming, we got a code to 2319 2319 doing for the 2319 over some damn code. Yeah, just like and they just do a full clean out, and like, brother, that would be hilarious. Over some Coca-Cola that got spilled that they could literally just wash, do like a do a rent a thing from Walmart, like, I don't even know if Walmart even still has them or not, but where you can just rent the carpet cleaner and just and you're done.
Out and about, you often see a sharply dressed military officer close behind, holding a big black briefcase. And I know you're all wondering.
You You think they had to rip out the carpet after the Clinton incident? Much like him, I play the fifth.
What all is in it. And no, it's not a meme generation machine Trump uses for his best buddy Elon. Instead, it's actually the key to America's nuclear arsenal. Known as the nuclear football.
Hold on. Okay, so right. All right. Let's get this right, shall we? You're telling me the key to the nuclear football is, that's a terrible impression. You're telling me the key to America or the world's end or whatever you want to call it is in a leather briefcase. Not in a Pelican case, not in one of those fancy spy cases that you see in like the not Back to the Future, Mission Impossible, or even like the case that the plutonium came in on in Back to the Future. No, it's in a leather briefcase that my granddad would probably get from J.C. Penney's or like Kohl's or something like that. America's safety is in shambles, ladies and gentlemen. Shambles.
This briefcase actually holds a robust communication suite, as well as the verification codes the president needs.
Are they putting the codes right on the screen for us? Take notes, ladies and gentlemen. Take notes. Take notes.
Needs to verify his identity if he ever decides to use nuclear weapons. Because a potential nuclear attack could come at any time, the nuclear football goes anywhere the president goes, including on Inauguration Day. But how exactly are the keys to America's deadliest weapons turned over on that momentous day? As soon as the clock strikes noon, the military officer currently holding the football will merely place it in the hands of the new officer appointed to carry it by the new president. Although the two officers will hide this act discreetly behind one of the pillars behind the president as he is speaking, this symbolic gesture plays a critical role that, if done at the wrong time, could leave America unable to defend itself from a nuclear attack on this day. However, for the White House, handing over the nuclear football is arguably the least difficult task of the day. Back at the executive residence, the staff is still hurrying.
Yeah, like, to be honest, they're building it up to make it seem like it's such a difficult thing. You're literally handing it over to another officer. The chief usher, the people that are staging the house, have a way more difficult job than handing over a briefcase from Kohl's. Like, what? What? Yeah, it's just like typical luggage. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. What? How are you going to say that's so difficult, but yet we have a team of like 100 to 200 employees scrambling for 5 to 6 hours to make sure that the house of the new president is perfect.
Working to make sure all the renovations are complete and the new First Family's things are moved in before the 5 o'clock deadline after the inauguration parade. Once all the heavy lifting, including moving furniture and priceless artwork, cleaning, and any renovations or repairs are done, the task now comes down to turning the White House into a home for the new First Family. Remember that questionnaire the White House chief usher sends the new family? This is now when this comes into play. Throughout the White House, the staff is busy personalizing everything. For example, Obama wanted a new shower head installed in his bathroom and a swing set for his kids to play on. The staff
makes
ensures
sense.
every desire is met, regardless of what the president and his family ask for, whether it be their favorite shampoo, towels, bed sheets, foods, or whatever else they want. As the staff continue to finish their preparations, the new president and his family return to the White House to begin the inaugural dinner, followed by the inaugural ball. However, even at this late stage, mistakes can happen. One famous incident was when President Bill Clinton first took office. On that day, during the chaos of the move, someone accidentally misplaced Hillary Clinton's ball gown in their daughter Chelsea's room. Well, after 15 minutes of panic, the staff found the dress and ensured that Hillary would not need to go out in her birthday suit for the ball. Thankfully, mistakes like this are few and far between thanks to the staff's
I don't think that would be the first thought of the first lady. Oh, well, I can't find my Bill, I can't find my dress. I guess I'm gonna have to go in the nude. But don't worry, I'm sure that'll make you happy. You know, I'm sure that'll make you happy. Isn't that what you liked Monica in the best? Okay, we probably can't put that in the YouTube video. Probably can't put that in the YouTube video.
dedication.
Can't. That's probably probably can't put that in the YouTube video. To be honest, shot your head was the first thing I changed anywhere I live. I think it's one of the first things that we changed here as well. I think it's one of the first things we changed as well.
Speed and desire to serve the president regardless of political party. That is why whenever a new president enters the White House for the first time after his inauguration, when Chief Usher says, "Welcome home, Mr. President," they truly mean it. Bye for now.
I will free myself from all you, yeah.